Ain't this exactly how this happened? Yandy just threw Lil Mendes out the house after he straightly smacked Mendes in the car like, wow, this family drama just took a turn none expected coming. We felt the tension among them was horrible before, but right now this is next level anarchy. Imagine the scene: Mendeecees and Lil Mendes riding in the car and out of nowhere, Mendeecees says a full-on smack directly across the face, but holds back. Why did this even happen? Caused his own son snap like that, and more importantly, why did Yandy react like way? I got all the inside tea on this complex circumstance. Calls for you not to be ready for these specifics, from covert conflicts to violent confrontations. Not to mention the streets where people have been talking and the crazy rumors that this drama is providing full-on reality TV pandemonium for. Grab your popcorn since we are ready to break this all the way down. All right, y'all, let us really clean this mess down, because this right here utter anarchy. Anyway, here's the problem. Lil Mendes has been under stress for a minute now. Everyone else has noticed the symptoms, we all heard the murmurs, but nobody expected it would become this wild. Like father-son relationships can be complicated, but this straight-up disaster. Let's backtrack for a second. If y'all remember, there's been bad years between Lil Mendes and his father. We never even got to pretend astonished ever since Mendeecees locked things. Never really been the same. When he came out, the harm was already done, and you could sense the strain over the screen every time they interacted. It was always something off. Saw Lil Mendes had to grow up fast while his dad was behind bars, and who was holding it down for him? Yandy. She was making sure he was straight, making sure he felt supported. But the second Mendes got back, it's like everything suddenly switched. It was like he expected his son to immediately fall in line, act like nothing ever happened. But y'all know that's not how this works. Years of animosity don't magically go overnight. And let's be true, Mendeecees hasn't exactly been father of the year. We all remember when he freely stated he wasn't sure if he would have held Yandy down if the roles were reversed. Child, the internet was not having it. If he could do that to his wife, imagine what type of energy he's been giving his own son behind closed doors. Fast skip to this recent car journey, and bang, everything that's been simmering between them burst from what we heard. This conflict started with something simple, just one of those casual father-son disagreements. However, let's be genuine. When there's years of built tension, even the simplest thing can erupt into a full-blown war. Currently, reports claim Mendes was coming at Lil Mendes over his attitude, stating he's been too disrespectful recently. And you know how fathers be trying to assert their power, like, boy, you better check your tone when you talk to me kind vibes. But Lil Mendes, he was not having it. He snapped back, telling his dad that he don't respect him cause he ain't never been there. That's the kind of remark that'll cut deep. And Mendeecees, instead of just hearing and understanding where his son was coming from, he did what he always does, try to manage the situation instead of genuinely correcting it. And you all know how this happens when parents feel that their kids are getting too bold. They try to shut it down quickly. They feel disrespected, and instead of understanding, they just double down. So Mendeecees raises his voice, telling Lil Mendeecees to alter his attitude, basically trying to check him. And that's when things snapped. Lil Mendeecees looked his dad dead in the eyes and hit him with, "You want to act like a parent now? Where was this energy when I needed you?" Boom, big drop, y'all. If that ain't the hardest striking line of the decade, I don't know what is. But before Mendes could even react, Lil Mendeecees straight up smacked him. Y'all, I don't know if he blacked out from wrath, if it was pure instinct, or if he had just been waiting for this time his whole life. But baby, he swung, and the next thing you know, Mendeecees is just sitting there astonished, like he actually got hit by his own son, and for the first time in a long time, he didn't know how to react. Now, here's the scariest part. You think that Mendeecees would have snapped. You think he would have been ranting, going off, maybe even swinging back. But no, he just sat there looking if he had seen a ghost. Why? Because in that moment, he finally knew he lost his son. And just when you thought it couldn't get worse, Yandy enters the conversation. Notice she wasn't even present when the smack happened, but the second she heard about it, she lost it. She was yelling, weeping, wanting to know what the heck just happened. And when she finally put the pieces together, y'all, the decision she made next, nobody saw it coming. She told Lil Mendeecees to get out, and just like that, the entire family was broken apart. But wait up, before we even go into that issue, let's talk about the aftermath of the slap real quick. Cosmoses ain't the only one that felt the shock. The entire internet got berserk. People were split right down the middle. Some were calling Lil Mendes disrespectful, saying, "You never lay hands on your father, no matter how terrible things go." Others, they were straight up defending him, claiming he was just unleashing years of built-up fury after being neglected. And y'all know the jokes came in strong. We had folks dubbing it the father-son smackdown of 2025. Others were claiming Mendeecees got what was coming to him. Others were even comparing it to that whole Will Smith and Chris Rock moment, talking about keep my name open your mouth. But wait, if y'all think this is strange, just wait till I tell you how this family dispute progresses in part 2, because when I tell you Yandy's next move was inconceivable, y'all brace up. Alright, so boom, Lil Mendeecees just slapped his own father Mendeecees in the car, and now the entire family is in tatters. But y'all, what occurred next is where this issue moved from messy to plain unfathomable, because after that smack, Yandy had to make a decision that would change everything. So let's be serious. Yandy loves Lil Mendeecees. She's basically been raising him since he was a tiny boy. She was keeping him down when Mendeecees was locked up, making sure he had everything he needed. She played the role of both mom and dad, and you'll know that wasn't easy, but at the same time, she loves Mendes too. And seeing her son put hands on his own father, it was the final straw. So what does she do? She stares at Lil Mendeecees dead in the eye and replies, "You got to go." Yo, when I tell you nobody saw this coming, the internet went into a full-blown meltdown. Like, we're talking startled reactions, people yelling at their screens, Twitter in flames, cause let's be real, ain't nobody anticipate Yandy to flip on Lil Mendeecees like that. But let's break it down, cause there's two sides to this. On one hand, you got people saying Lil Mendes was dead wrong. You never placed your hands on your father. Yandy had to put her foot down. Yet on the other side, you got persons like, wait a damn minute, how you going to chuck out the same kid you've been raising all these years? Ain't he the one who was abandoned by his dad? And by the way, people were battling in these comment sections, messy. But before we get into that, let's speak about Lil Mendeecees' reaction, cause yo, when I tell you this dude was astonished. He stared at Yandy like he couldn't even believe what he just heard. Like, this woman, who was always his protector, his ride or die, just told him to get out. And yo, let's be genuine, Lil Mendeecees ain't no dummy. He knew this smack was going to cause problems, but he never believed it would come to this. So you know what he did? He laughed like a full cold sarcastic, "I can't believe this" type giggle. And then he smacked her with a, "Oh, so now I'm the evil person after everything I've been through." Y'all, wrenching, but Yandy, she didn't budge. She stood firm. She was like, "I don't care what you've been through, you crossed the line." And that was it. Lil Mendes grabbed his stuff and walked out. Now, here's where things get even wilder, because now that Lil Mendes is out the house, he's out here in these streets talking. And when I say talking, I mean revealing everything. He went straight to social media, airing out family secrets, posting cryptic messages, and y'all, he even went live. And baby, the way he was chatting, he held nothing back. He started exposing how Mendes was never truly there, how he used to fake like he cared only for the cameras, how he just started acting like a parent when it was convenient for him. And then he dropped the biggest bomb. He uttered, "Yandy ain't as knave as she tries to seem." Meanwhile, y'all, at that point, the internet went from astonished to straight up flabbergasted, because let's be honest, Yandy has always had the beautiful wife, perfect mother image. She's the one who's meant to be the peacemaker, the one who keeps everything together. But Lil Mendeecees, he was like, "Nah, let's talk about the real Yandy." And that's when things truly took a turn. He started dropping indications that Yandy just took care of him to look good for the cameras, that behind closed doors, she was an entirely other person. He even remarked, "You all really think she just took me in out of love? Or was it because it made her look like the perfect wife?" You, at this point, folks, ain't even know who to believe, because let's be honest, on one hand, Lil Mendes is out here looking like a child who's been through hell and back, finally speaking his truth, while on the other side, folks were thinking, is he just acting up cause he got kicked out? And then because this thing wasn't complex enough already, Mendes finally speaks up. Yo, he was quiet at first. He ain't say nothing for days. No Instagram posts, no remarks, nothing. But then he conducted an interview. And when I tell y'all this interview was straight up damage control, I mean he came ready with the script, the sad look that I'm just a hurt father routine. He sat there like, you know, as a man, I simply never thought my own son would turn on me like this. And the reporter was eating it up like, wow, that must be really painful for you. And Mendes hit M with the classic at the conclusion of the day, all I ever wanted was to be a father. I ain't perfect, but I tried, and to have my son disrespect me like that wounded me more than anything. Yeah, please, like, sir, where was this I'm just a loving father vibe while he was out here being a deadbeat for years? The internet was not buying it. People were pouring the comments like, oh, so now you want to play the victim, sir? You ain't been a father for years. This ain't just about a smack. Mendes is acting like he didn't abandon that guy for half his life, and y'all, the mess just kept getting worse. So guess who chose to jump in? Erica, yup, Mendeecees' other baby mama. And baby, when I tell you she came in swinging, she was like, oh, now y'all see what I've been saying for years. Men's been ** to y'all. This drama was no longer simply a family fight. It was growing into a full-blown soap opera. We had Lil Mendes out here spewing out secrets, Mendeecees trying to play victim, Yandy caught in the middle looking guilty as hell, Erica appearing up out of nowhere to add more fuel to the flames. And then just when we thought this mess couldn't possibly get worse, somebody dropped receipts, and baby, when I tell y'all, these receipts changed everything. Yeah, you ain't ready, because what was in those texts, it revealed that this family been false for years. And what happened next to get so boom, the internet was already in flames, but then somebody dropped the receipts, and when I told you all, these receipts threw the entire thing on its head. You wow. So what was in them pics, voicemails, text messages? And baby, these messages indicated that this family has been faking it for years. Y'all, it wasn't only Lil Mendes talking wild. These receipts proved that behind closed doors, Mendes and Yandy had been putting up this beautiful family image for the cameras, while the real tale straight out toxic. And get this, Mendeecees, oh well, in words exposed in one of the texts showed Mendes saying, so only do this for TV, so got to look like I'm trying. Meanwhile, so when he was out here crying in interviews talking about, I just want to be a parent, the receipts were saying, nah, you just want to look beautiful for the cameras. Y'all, this man was out here faking Father of the Year when in reality he ain't been around like that. And if that wasn't bad enough, the receipts also exposed Yandy. Now remember when Lil Mendes claimed she wasn't as naive as she acts, infant, these texts supported it up. One of the messages showed Yandy texting Mendeecees stating, I can't keep doing this. He's not even my real son, excuse me, like him. Not your real son. Baby Lilies had been calling this woman mom for years. She had been out here claiming she loved him like her own. And now she's contacting his real father saying she can't keep pretending. Y'all, this was horrible, because now the internet didn't know who to believe. Was Lil Mendes simply a rebellious youngster who crossed the line, or was he a hurt son who finally had enough of the lies? Was Yandy really a loving stepmom, or was she just doing it for the cameras? Was Mendes really trying, or was he just putting up appearances? And then, because this scenario wasn't weird enough, already guess who popped up? Mom D. Yup, LHA royalty, the queen of messy and vibe. When I tell you she came with the utmost shade, she went on Instagram, live like, see, this is why I say you'll need to stop faking these TV relationships. The reality always comes out. And then she went even further. She straight up said, I've been knowing Mendes wasn't ** Yandy been playing stepmom for a storyline, and Lil Mendeecees, that boy been fed up. I don't blame him for snapping. Y'all, at this point, the love and hip-hop universe was rocking. We had Lil Mendeecees revealing his truth, Yandy and Mendes getting, exposing Mom D, tossing gasoline on the flames, and then just when we thought it was finished, Camila jumped in. Yep, Joel Santana's wife, the same Kim fella who got into it with Yandy years ago. And by she was waiting for this day, she went on IG talking about, oh, so now y'all see what I was saying about Yandy. This chick been false. I've been trying to tell y'all, but y'all ain't want to listen. And baby, she wasn't holding back. She straight up said Yandy will do whatever to make herself appear nice, even if it means throwing Lil Mans under the bus. Y'all, at this point, this wasn't just family turmoil, this was a full-blown expose. And then because this tale just continued getting messier, Lil Mendeecees came back online, and by he had one final thing to say. He went live again, and this time he was calmer, more serious, and he straight up said, "I don't care what nobody says about me. I know my honesty, I know what I've been through, and I know who actually adore me and who just using me." And then he looked dead in the camera and said, "I'll never be false for nobody, that's why they mad." Y'all, the way the internet became silent after that, because at the end of the day, no matter what side you're on, one thing was evident: this family was never what they pretending to be, and now everything's out in the open. Thus the real question is what comes next, because by after all this mess, there's no going back. Wow, y'all, this is weird. Like, did we just witness an entire family fall in real time? Since by this ain't just some normal drama, this involves years of secrets, lies, and phony family ambitions getting exposed. And now the biggest question is what happens next. Like, is Lil Mendes done with his father forever? Is Yandy finally going to admit she's been playing stepmom for the cameras? Is Mendes even going to try to fix this? Or is he simply going to keep blaming everybody else? And baby, let's not forget, we still don't know the entire narrative, because if these texts spilled, what more is out there? Will more receipts drop? Will another reality star hopping you out? This is a complete mess, but one thing's for sure, this ain't over, and when the next bombshell drops, you already know we're going to break it down right here. So let me know in the comments, whose side are you on? Is Lil Mendeecees just a rebellious youngster, or is this the only one telling the truth? And what do y'all think is next for this? Family, let's get into it, because baby, I need to know what y'all think. And while you're at it, be sure to press that like button, subscribe, and turn on those notifications, because trust me, you do not want to miss the next update on this mess. This is just the beginning.